Sometimes lost thoughts lead you astray. Then I cry, then I feel pain. Why do I suffer so much? I would love to feel your touch. Baby, I don't know where to go. I feel so lost without you. Baby, I don't know where to go. I feel so lost without you. Baby, I don't know where to go. I feel so lost without you. Baby, I don't know where to go. I feel so lost without you. Save me before I pass out. Save me before I pass out. Before I pass out.
Well, it is time to get
day we've all
started
been waiting
for
for is
our round
finally here.
3
It's race
of
day. The Brazilian
MRL,
Grand Prix
and
has
we
hosted
are
some of the most
here.
important races in
What
Formula
is
One
going on with
history.
this output?
And I've got a
Oh, I
feeling
did.
today will be no
Shut up,
different.
track. There you go. That's better. As you know, it's our Brazilian Grand Prix here, and we are at the Jose Carlos Brazilian track, 2.6 mile circuit. Amazing Brazilian track, and we had an amazing race in the real life Grand Prix. Now we're ready to get started for our MRL races, and it is tier 4 being led by Dmaster OG. Myself, you'll be hearing from me for the next hour for qualifying and the race. We have a bunch of people just getting started for their first quali runs. They're loading into the session now. We gotta love that video, right, Nathan? Yeah, amazing track it is at Brazil. Interlagos being one of the most famous tracks on the entire calendar, having a lot of championships in real life decided there, being one of our most favored rounds of the entire year, at least in my opinion. But we're already in the session. Let's just go ahead and get straight into it and see what these guys have to offer for us. Let's go ahead and turn on all the data so we can see when these drivers coming out. We have a full grid, missing one person right now, which is going to be the second McLaren driver. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of the name of my own team. But yeah, it is one more McLaren driver to get in the session, and we've got a full lobby. First person out of the pit looks to be Knight. Yes, he is. Knight is driving for Alpine. Crap, no rain, as Villeneuve in chat. I guess somebody was wanting some rain murder. Not murder, but rain chaos, which will result in murder. Because we know how rain is on the F1 games. It creates chaos more than what happened in real life just a couple of hours ago. That was absolutely mental. If you haven't gotten a chance already to watch the real life Grand Prix, it is the best of the season so far. I will not do any spoilers. I will just say that it is one great race to watch, as we have our first laps coming up on the board, or first people coming up to set their first laps on the board. It's going to be Knight first, then Damie, then it's going to be Bartaponi third across the line, then the team principal of Cobb K. But first, let's go ahead and watch Knight, as he's going to be the first person to set a lap time here, as I'm going to pull up the standings. Kind of forgot to do that, I'm not going to lie to you guys. The updated standings... Go ahead and just pull them up on screen. Shouldn't take more than 2 seconds. Right. There you go. These should be the updated standings here. From Mexico, we've got Jordan in P1 right now, as he is on your screen. 35 points, with 25 points to Jay Lowry. Our Red Bull Racing is MRK. RB Racing Bulls is Jay Lowry and Meebinator, who's just 2-3 places down from Jay Lowry and MRK. But we're gonna see here, first person to come across the line is going to be Knight. He's going to be starting us off with an 8-8. Behind him, TTR Damie sets an 8-4. Go ahead and give us a good start. Bartaponi is going to be next across the line, with his teammate Jordan just in front of him, starting his lap. Bartaponi doing a 10-7. Not the greatest of laps, but Cobb K actually matches Knight just about 200ths behind him. So it's already beginning to look like a tight qualifying for everybody here. Absolutely awesome to see from these tier 4 drivers. Let's see what MRK is going to be able to do. Our man in P3 in the championship right now What is he going to pull to the line? Not using all of his battery too early, coming to the line using all of it. And it's going to be an 8-8-1-9. So he's going to go ahead of Knight, but not anywhere near close to Amy. But doing a really good job so far. Next, I'm going to go on board with Jordan, who started his lap a little bit ago. He still has a lot of ERS to burn into that final 2 corners. He has used all of his ERS. You can see his batteries already depleted to the amount that he can use, and he goes on provisional pole with an 8-1-0, 3 tenths ahead of the next car. Really good performance from him, putting in a great banker lap time for the time being. Are we going to see anybody else put in a challenging lap time to that degree? Bartaponi does not get on an improvement run. Normbash is going to come across the line, and what's he going to do? He's going to bring himself in front of his teammate Villeneuve, and that's going to be a good second run for him. It looks like Bartaponi's not on a run. Osmari, what's he going to be able to do in the middle sector? It looks pretty okay. It doesn't look like he's going to be breaking the time boards, but he's going to have a lot of battery to use through that final sector. What is he going to be able to do? Well, doesn't have a lot of battery, my apologies. He ran out of battery on the sector. He does a 9.75, so that's going to put him between the Kicksaubers for the time being. Testarossa now is going to be going into the second sector, the twisty tidy bit of the middle part of the circuit. He has a lot of battery. He didn't burn a lot of battery through that first sector. Good to hold on to a lot of it for that final run to the line. He gets a good exit out of there. No big squabbles. Going through this corner, not getting on the grass. Really good exit needed. He did get it. He has a lot of battery to burn to the final corner. Is he going to be able to put in a very good lap time? We'll be seeing it very soon. When he crosses the line, he uses all the battery he's allowed. He goes all the way up to P7 with an 8.86. That's a pretty decent lap time from him. Is Osmari going to be anything close? No. Villeneuve, is he going to be on a push lap? He does look to be, but is he going to get an improvement in? Let's see what he comes across the line and does. A 9.4. He does improve by half a second, pushing down Osmari, getting back closer to his teammate of Normbash. Let's see what Meebinator is going to be able to do coming to the line. He does an 8.30. That's going to put him P2 right in front of Damie, but not close to Jordan. Still 2 tenths off of him. Really good lap time from him still. Can he get a second lap in and improve just that tiny bit more? Let's see what he's going to be able to do. We have Knight going for another run, it looked like. Yep, he's going for another run right now, using the overtake out of that corner. Getting a little wide of the apex, but still using all the overtake down into sector number 2. He is even on his time on the first sector. That is impressive to see. Looks like he is purple on the minimap. Is that going to be provisional purple? Actual provisional purple, as we know that this game likes to lie to you a little bit on your lap times. We're going to check with him very shortly, as we have a couple of people coming to the line, to the pit lane. And MRK goes for another run, and he does improve by a 10.5, moving him all the way up to 4th position in front of Echo 1. What is Knight going to be able to do? He is 2.5 tenths improved. And Burn Victim actually goes across the line and goes P2 provisionally in front of Meebinator by only 2 thousandths of a second. A very, very good job from him to get in front. And what is Knight gonna be able to do? There you go. Knight goes 800s behind Jordan, so he's challenging that pole position right now as everybody comes to put their lap in. Jay Lowry putting in a 8.83. People are burning so much ERS in the first sectors, correct? I don't know why, but they are. Damie putting in the fastest lap time of a 7.83, blowing 3 tenths to the next car. Very, very good lap time from him, and that's going to be a provisional pole position as Mr. Testarossa is going to put himself in P6. That's going to be a very good lap time. Hello, Jayton. I think you're going to need to get an invite. Go ahead and invite you real quick since we are in quali. Come on, there you go. There you go. You are already in. Even better. Wait. Okay, that's interesting. Says Jordan's in the McLaren, but Jordan's also in the Mercedes, so interesting game physics, but we're not going to worry about that. We're going to worry about what people are doing in the final sector. These guys are all coming into the pits for new sets of tires. Cobb K is on a push lap, it looked like. Damie coming in for a new set of tires after he did a wonderful lap time of a 7.8 burn victim, improved to an 8.00, moving down the lap time a little bit to the pole position time. Jordan still on his original lap time. He's gonna go for a lap now. He has started a lap, but he didn't turn on his ERS, so that's gonna be an interesting position to look for. And it looks like Cobb is gonna come into the pits as well. Let's see what Jordan is doing. Using a lot of ERS at the exit of turn 1. So you can see there he's prioritizing where he uses that ERS. Getting a really good exit through there, maybe a little squirrely. Using a little bit of ERS up that hill to get a little momentum going. Lifted a little bit on that gas pedal. And you can see there just easing into the brakes, but invalidated at the exit of the corner. That's not going to be fortunate for him, as C. Miller, while we were watching that, had done a 7.986, putting himself in P2, doing a really good lap time for the Red Bull Racing team. Echo 1 looks to be struggling a little bit in that middle sector. TTRE Fox still on a valid lap after going past that same corner number 3, I would say 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. All right, and then getting a good run through this middle sector. Doesn't look like he's losing too much time. Carrying the speed well. Good on the gas. No squirrels out of that corner. Once you're going sideways here, you lose so much time, which is why you want to prevent it in every scenario possible. He has a lot of ERS to burn through that final sector. Let's see what he's going to be able to improve. Is he going to come into the pits? No, he doesn't. He comes across the line. He does an 8.12. He improves by a whole second, and that's going to put him all the way in P5 in front of Knight, behind Jordan, who set his time provisionally early. Now he's a 10th.5. Jordan looking to take back his pole position time. He's going to have to earn another 10th in this final sector. He has a lot of battery. Can he do it? He goes through the final corner, used his battery pretty early on, trying to keep a very short line to the line, using all of the battery possible. He's using every drop he has. And is he going to be enough? It doesn't look to be enough. He's missed it by 700th, but he is P2 in front of C. Miller. That's going to be a good position. If that is his final set of tires, that is not fortunate for him for what he could do. Is he going to have another run? I know Damie does. Damie's already out on track on a new set of tires. Jordan just got finished with his run, and he's just a couple of hundredths behind. Very, very close qualifying we're having here. Just look at the gap to leader. Between the top 14, we have a second gap. The top 14 drivers. Between the top 7, we have half a second. Absolutely crazy, guys. Great stuff from these guys. Very tight qualifying so far, and we're only expecting 5 more minutes of this. And we have Damie now gonna start his lap. Looks like he's gonna have a little bit of a slipstream from, it looks like, MRK in front, just slightly outside of that slipstream range, but let's see what he's gonna be able to do. Damie holding all the way on that yellow line, and he gets a good run into first corner, into turn number 2 as well, getting all the way on the curb on number 3, using a little bit of that battery to exit that corner. And let's see, is anybody else going to be on a lap time while they're starting their provisionally last lap times? Bartaponi is going to be coming to the line. He's going to come into the pits. Makes sense. Testarossa, is he up on his lap time? It looks like he is on a lap, and he is up on his time. Let's see what he's going to be able to improve. Even a 10th in this tight of a field is going to gain you 2 positions. So coming to the line, he's going to use all of his battery, and he's going to gain just about half a tenth, and it is going to match the time of Vardaponi, so it's not going to gain him any positions. That is unfortunate for him, but that is kind of how the game goes. And now Damie is going to come across the last 2 corners. He is not an improvement so far. Is he going to be able to improve his lap time? No, he's not. He's coming straight into the pits without an improvement lap. MRK looks to be starting another lap himself. Let's see what that's going to come up to. Looks like these guys, Jay Lowry and Echo 1. Yes, Echo 1 are both doing their lap times right beside each other. They're giving each other a little bit of a slipstream. Let's see what they're going to be able to do. Jay Lowry behind Echo 1, who looks to have backed out. So now Jay Lowry has clean air in front of him. MRK, I don't know if y'all saw, matched his first sector lap time, or just about. He wasn't too far off of it. So what is he going to be able to do in the second sector? Is he going to be able to gain time? Is he going to lose it? Last 3 minutes on the clock are very, very crucial for everybody to get their laps in and not make too many mistakes. What is going to come up from this very, very pristine looking lap? Just about even on his lap time, so this might not be an improvement. It might be an improvement. Let's see what MRK is going to do. Up to the line. Is he going to have an improvement lap time? Let's see. 7th gear, 8th gear, he comes into the pits. That is not an improvement lap time. Not enough to make enough of a difference. And Echo 1 looks to be restarting his lap as well. As we actually had it, it was Jay Lowry who improved a very good position. He did a 4/10 improvement to do a 8th position. That's pretty good lap time from him. And that's gonna give him a good starting point right behind his teammate Beebinator. So we're gonna see RB getting a lot of points this race. Jayton still not having put in a close enough lap time to be on the back of the field. Mr. Lethal P and Deathman not having gone out for their runs yet, as we have a bunch of people coming out of the pits now to do their final run. A minute 55 left on the clock. And you see here Damie, Jordan now starting their lap. We have a basically huge car park here behind C. Miller, as we're going to get to watching those final laps of people. Jordan holding a lot of brake pressure coming into the first corner and getting a good run out of the corner, using a lot of battery to get down that straight as fast as possible. That's going to be a great first sector lap from him. It's even on his lap, so that's all he needed to do. And now the time is made in the last 2 sectors. Damie coming through to the first corner. He's going to do the same, bleeding off the brakes, getting a good run through the first 2 corners. What is Jordan going to be able to do through the second sector? Let's watch on board with him. He goes all the way on the curb and invalidates the lap. That's going to be unfortunate for him, as Steve Miller is going to start his lap time as well. Damie has found a little bit of time in that first sector, so he is already on an improvement. Jordan's going to need to recharge and go again if he even has enough time to do it. Let's see what's going to happen. And further up the field, you can see everybody getting trying to get some space to get their laps in. Damie through the second sector. Timing board is going to be just up the road. What is his second sector going to look like? And is he going to have an improvement time for sector 3? He is on an improvement. Is it going to be enough to hold on? Jordan did get another lap onto the board, so that's going to be a good showing from him. C. Miller is on about an even lap. Let's see what his second sector time is going to show. It's not in a better lap. That's not better. But Damie did go faster. Damie did a 7:6.99. An absolutely blazing fast lap time. MRK comes across the line, and he's going to start his final run. C. Miller is going to come across the line, and it's not going to be an improvement. It is an improvement. Never mind. That's going to be a 10th gained at the last sector. And is anybody else going to have a response? That Burn Victim started their lap just now, and Jordan just got about the same lap time in the first sector. What's the second sector going to be? It's an improvement by a 1/10.5. Is this going to be the lap that Jordan needed? He's coming to the line with all the battery he needs to use. He has 20% left, running to the line. What is this lap time gonna be? Comes across the line, and he does not take pole position, but he does take P2. Very, very good lap time from Jordan, just about 21 thousandths from P1. Provisional pole position being held by Damie. Is anyone gonna hold it? And Burn Victim goes into the wall, and that's gonna be his qualifying over, and that's everybody's qualifying over unless MRK has something to say about it. He is on an improvement by 3/10 right now. Is he gonna have that 3/10 by the end of this main straight? Going to the line, he does an 8-4, moving him all the way up to P10, but that is our grid set. Damie takes pole position from Jordan. Really, really close battle between those two. C. Miller, a close third between them. Burn Victim in P4. Meebinator in P5. T. Terry Fox in P6. Knight in P7. Cobb K in P8. J. Lowry in P9. And MRK rounding out our top 10. Testarossa and Echo 1 being our top 12 positions. And two people not having put in a lap time, Deathman or Mr. Lethal Pete. Do it. Do it, Jayden. We believe in you. Trust me. I need you to get some points. Come on, McLaren boys. We got this. Got at least one in the points already for McLaren. A bunch of teams being spread out by nothing. One different team in the top 7. And then you get four different teams in the top 11. No, 4 different repeat teams. Sorry, that's nuts. Just get better, Jayden. We're not allowing full TC on all the tiers. There is no point. Just learn how to use medium TC. It's not us wanting to not do it. It's not reasonable to allow full TC when you just can get better. If you could show me 4 people that do better on full traction control than no traction control after a single week of doing it, I think we should do it as well. I know I'll cook you with no TC. Just, it's not that I'm scared. It's that there's not enough people to take advantage of allowing something. It's not that good in this game. It's okay. It's not great. It might be an L take, but at the end of the day, I run no TC. I don't even care. Running no TC is the best and worst thing you can have. It allows mistakes, which is good and bad. Because you get better from mistakes. All right, we are going to get underway, and Damie is going to lead us from pole position from Jordan. It's going to be a very interesting short run into turn 1, as we're going to be barely able to see the tops of their cars. Gotta love the undulation on this first straight, this start-finish straight of Interlagos. That uphill is so nice, but it is not nice when you're starting a race. I will say that. What B-Dunk said. As we have 3, 4, 5. Red lights are on. And away we go for the Brazilian Grand Prix at Interlagos for Tier 4. And we have a yellow flag further behind. And Damie covers off C. Miller very well. C. Miller going around the outside of Jordan. For P2, Jordan getting a little squeezed off. And that's going to put him down a couple of positions. He has to rejoin the racetrack. Now 3 wide with the Williams and Alpine. Alpine going on the white line. And that's a little bit over the white line. That rejoin, I think, caused Cop K to make a little bit of a correction. And there's a front wing of a McLaren further back, who that's going to be Jayton. 10-second severe penalty with Normbash. Yeah, that makes sense why he doesn't have a front wing. Mr. Lethal Pete looks to be clean as can be right now, and it looks like Mr. Testarossa also has a front wing broken because of that. Virtual safety car did go out, and we should be getting racing before the end of this lap if that didn't cause anybody else's race to go. Actually, we've gone racing now, and we are green going racing. And actually, I just saw their MRK look to have ran into the back of Cobb K by mistake. Little bit aggressive defending from MRK. Bartaponi trying to aggressively make a move down that hill, up the hill now, going back into turn 1. Everybody giving a little bit of a gap. There's a big gap between Normbash, Jayton, and Echo 1 as they did make contact earlier on. Side by side, man in the box going around the outside of Jayton as he comes into the pits to change that front wing, very likely. Osmari goes into the pits, and Deathman is retired from the session on lap number 1 of his race. That is going to be a early retirement, at least into the pit lane, so you shouldn't be getting a penalty for that one. Let's see what's going on further up the field. C. Miller has taken P2 from Meebinator, and there was a Jordan. There was supposed to be a Jordan there, but he got a little bit ran off the road. If y'all remember, turn 1 there. Turn 2, Meebinator got the better of him. Burn Victim also got the better of him. Both. So Burn Victim takes that P4 position. Same with TTRE Fox. You can see here the positions gained. TTRE Fox gaining 1 position. Down 4 positions for Jordan. And further back the field, you can actually see there's a lot of people going very close to each other. Up to P12. And then there's a little bit of a gap down. Let's go ahead and look at all the tires everybody's running. There's some soft tires as we have C. Miller taking the fastest lap of the race and the lead of the race from Damie. C. Miller on the soft tires. Everybody else in the top 10 on the medium tires. Bartaponi on the soft tires as well. Normbash and Mr. Lethal Pete both going on to those soft rubber tires. Damie was looking to make a move stick, but did not make anything stick. I don't know why that helicopter cam is bugging out. Normally we have some pretty decent lookings for that. Let's go, everybody. I was going to say let's go McLaren, but they're not having the greatest of races. As we can see here, someone who's having a really good race is C. Miller. Currently leading the race from P3. He got past Jordan around the outside of turn 1, and then made a very decisive move on Damie on that main straight. Damie now looking to keep with him, use those soft tires to pull ahead, pull as much time out of those tires as he can. Is Damie gonna have the move redone on him that C. Miller did? Yes, he does. Cuts him off into the corner to make sure that he doesn't try to go around the outside of him. Damie now holding the lead of the race, and it's very close between Meebinator and Burn Victim back here. It looks like Burn Victim trying to go around the outside of Meebinator, and he's going to hold that outside line very well, holding it, and Meebinator giving him all the room on the outside, but still keeps the position very well defended from the from the Racing Bull driver there of Meebinator. And just ahead is the Red Bull of C. Miller, having a little bit of a snap, so he's not keeping up with Damie as fast as he would have wanted. Further back along is going to be the other Racing Bulls of Jay Lowry at the back end of this little 4-man train for P5. TTRE Fox leading that train. Jordan being held up in this train, just about a second off of Burn Victim. So they did lose DRS this last lap to the top 4, and that's going to lose him a little bit of lap time. If he can't get back up to them, he might even get a move done by Jordan, as he's no longer getting that DRS effect. As further up the field, Damie did keep that position on C. Miller. C. Miller having the DRS to get back at him, but he does not have the overspeed to get back at him, as Damie is trying to defend that lead for the time being. Down the inside, looks to be going Echo 1 on MRK. MRK does have front wing damage, getting a little bit squeezed off the road, but it looked like a fair enough move from Echo 1's perspective. That is going to be one position gained for Echo 1, one position lost for MRK. It's going to be pretty much this the entire race, guys. We're 5 laps in, and we're already keeping up with multiple battles on track at the same time. We have a four-person train for the lead of the race. 3 of them on medium tires, 1 of them on soft tires. That soft looks to be already running a little bit too warm and losing pace compared to those guys. He's not overtaking Damie, as you saw at the top of your screen, but who is overtaking is Jordan. Jordan overtook TTRE Fox, as I said, was going to happen. It looks to be that Damie had a big off. Damie actually went off into the wall, and that's going to lose him a front wing in a bunch of positions, and that's actually going to be his team principal passing him. Now that's not going to be a good look for Damie. That's unfortunate for his overall race pace. He's lost a lot of his front wing, and that's going to need replacing for sure. C. Miller gets put into the lead of this race, and Meebinator is going to have P2 for the time being. Burn Victim P3. Now it's a 3-car battle for the lead of the race provisionally. And once everybody has gone into the pits and settled in, there's going to be a change. But for now, 1.7 seconds is the gap from Jordan to the lead of the race. Burn Victim in P3. Huge snap from C. Miller there, as we saw right at the end. Meebinator is now going to go down the inside and take that position, because that was a huge moment for C. Miller. Is C. Miller going to get overtaken by Burn Victim as well? That is going to be another position loss, and Burn Victim actually goes down the inside of Meebinator. Did not get the traction he wanted, actually slid a little bit, as we have Damie getting a 10-second penalty to go into the pit lane, speeding. Unfortunate as this race unravels for him. Burn Victim trying to put the pressure on Meebinator, but further back we have Echo 1 putting the pressure on Knight. Did not give it a work. Same thing with C. Miller here. C. Miller tried to put the pressure on Burn Victim, and all of these guys are going as fast as they can. C. Miller having a real struggle on these older tires, soft tires. These softs don't last more than about 10 laps at most if you're trying to get them into an operable window, as we have Jayton retiring from the session. On track, it looks like. Jayton did not retire into the pit lane, so that's not going to be the spot you wanted to retire. Unfortunate for him, his internet died, he says in chat. That's unfortunate. Sorry to hear that. We have a lot of battles going on. Still yellow flags on your screen. That is unfortunate for Burn Victim there. Could not make the move. Stick Jalari got overtaken by Knight there into the turn 1 chicane, so that is going to be a move done for them. Bartaponi trying to get the same thing done on Echo 1, did not make it stick, as we have a bunch of people fighting out in their own mini races. Meebinator, Burn Victim, and C. Miller still on the back end of each other's. TCRE Fox and Jordan now having caught up to this little pack. They're now 9/10 from them, and they have regained DRS, so that is really good for Jordan, that he was able to use TTRE Fox and the DRS help to catch back up to these guys, as they needed to be with this front pack. Now making this a 5-car pack for the lead if Meebinator does not run away with it, as we actually see here 7.5 tenths to the next car of Burn Victim. Burn Victim might have made a mistake there. C. Miller right on the back of Burn Victim. Is this going to be a move done for C. Miller? Let's see. Burn Victim using a little bit of ERS, getting closer and closer to the back end of Meebinator. Does not make a move, and all 3 of those guys stay in the same position they started that lap in. Really good stuff from Burn Victim to put the pressure on Meebinator, holding on to those tires, even though they're really close to each other. They're not using their tires too inefficiently, as we saw Burn Victim close his DRS a little bit early to not close up. Jordan now at the back of this train, just chilling, trying to save some ERS, I'm presuming. Meebinator holding at about 30%. Burn Victim holding a lot more ERS on about 90%. C. Miller at about 60. TTRE Fox at about 80. And Jordan at about 50, recharging as much as he can. Knight having fallen away from these guys substantially, having Jay Lowry behind, who just got a 3-second time penalty. Just behind outside of DRS. He's trying to burn ERS to get back in it, but it does not seem like he did get that, as we have Burn Victim getting past Meebinator into the first corner. They did a hot swap there, not trying to lose too much time or lose another position to C. Miller, as these guys seem to be working together. These guys are on the same tire set. C. Miller's on an alternate strategy, so they're going to be working together as much as they can to maybe pull away from C. Miller, and TTRE Fox and Jordan behind a C. Miller would maybe be the corkscrew to these guys. Actually, I just said it out loud, and it's happening. 9/10 have been pulled away from C. Miller. Now he has to put in a really good second sector to not lose out on DRS here. Is C. Miller going to put that second sector in a really good standing? Meebinator and Burn Victim now have to pull away as hard as possible. They need to use everything they got to maybe get out of this DRS, and he did get out of DRS right now. TTRE Fox still in it, but C. Miller has lost DRS to the front two, and that's going to be crucial for his race overall. Is he going to pit now? Is he going to stay out? Is he going to get overtaken by TTRE Fox? I think that's a given at this point, and it does look like C. Miller is staying out, but without the DRS, he's not going to have anything to counter against TTRE Fox, and he does get past. Jordan also struggling a little bit, nearly having lost out to second to those guys. TTRE Fox now having to put in his amount of work to get back up to the front two. He wants to challenge for this race win, and he wants to pull these guys back up to this race pack. And actually Burn Victim went a little wide, and that's going to lose them both a little bit of time, and it did. And TTRE Fox is now gained back into DRS range of Meebinator and Burn, and now Burn has a lot to do. He needs to pull out 2/10 to the cars behind, but it looks like he's going wide into the corners, and he doesn't have the pace to do it right now. And Fox is gaining back time by the 10th. By the corner, he is just doing faster lap times. He has a little bit more space in front of him, and he's able to carry a little bit more speed than the guys in front. Is he going to have DRS coming up to the DRS timing line? Does he have it? It's going to be tight, guys. Yes, he does, it looks like. And just behind, barely C. Miller has kept on. Does TTRE Fox get it? Yes, he does. Now they swip one more time. Meebinator on the inside, and he's going to have the lead of the race. Burn Victim now in P2, but TTRE Fox is right there, 4/10 behind. C. Miller 7/10 behind, having lost a little bit of time. Jordan knowing that he needs to get past C. Miller as soon as possible. These soft tires not doing great. He doesn't have the battery to keep up with these guys, and now it is a 3-car train to the lead of the race. Meebinator holding the lead right now. Burn Victim in P2, TTRE Fox in P3, and not far behind is C. Miller. And he is not on the same tire set, but he is hanging on to these guys as much as he can, going a little wide into corners, but he's still there with these guys for the DRS, and that is a very, very crucial point, because DRS is so powerful in this race. And we have 5 cars in the hunt for this lead of this race right now, 5 seconds back to the nearest car, and we've got nobody going into the pits yet, as we have a little bit of a moment for C. Miller there. Coming out of the last corner, he's going to lose out a little bit of time on the straight. He has the ERS to use, and it looks like Burn Victim is going to take the lead once more from Meebinator. Is it going to be a double lead take by TTRE Fox? Does he make it? No, he does not. TTRE Fox holding back. Very smart from him here to hold on to P2 and P3, as we are currently, as I just realized, in a Haas sandwich. We've got Osmari in P18 and burn victim in P1. As we have a battle going on here from Bartaponi, MRK, and the Williams of Mr. Lethal Pete. Two of them on softs, one of them on medium tires. A little bit of a side-by-side going on up here as well. Knight and Jay Lowry going side-by-side. Sorry, that's, yeah, that is Knight and Jay Lowry. So, a lot of action going on here between everybody. Still a five-way fight for the lead. Five-way train for the lead. I'd say it's more of a three-way fight right now. If Jordan can get up to these guys on the same tire strategy, then it might be a four-way fight. But five-way might be at the end of the race. We've still got 23 more laps. Make that, yeah, 23 more laps. That is a lot of laps to go. Just about a third of the way through this race. And it is going to be a lot of racing still left in these guys. Burn Victim having 2/10 to Meebinator behind him. Is Meebinator going to make a move stick? No, he does not, but Jordan does. Jordan makes a move stick in front of C. Miller now, and that's going to be 4 people on the same tires, and then C. Miller on the soft tires. Still doing a pretty decent job to keep up with these guys. Let's see, Burn Victim holding the lead for now. Mr. MRK holding off Mr. Lethal Pete. Lethal having the outside line for this next corner, and Mr. MRK, Mr. Kamau having the better run up the hill on the inside. Takes the position P9. Now Mr. Lethal Pete in P10, Bartaponi in P11, and Man in the Box in P12 on the hard tires. The first hard tire runner in the entire race. So that's going to be the deciding factor in a couple of laps time. Is the hards gonna hang on? Is it gonna be worth it? As we have people go into the pits, Burn Victim, Jordan, and C. Miller have all come into the pits. What tires are they gonna go on? Hard tires go for Jordan. Burn Victim goes for hard tires as well. And it looks like C. Miller has gone to the medium tires. Kobke gets a 3-second time penalty for going wide. And we see on here side by side still going on with Echo 1. Echo 1 having the inside lane, and he does take that position. Let's see what penalties people have. Kobke nearly going into the back of Echo 1 there. Cobb having a 3-second, Bartaponi having a 3-second, Dimey having a 10-second for his speeding penalty early on, and a 3-second time penalty for Jay Lowry. As we have more action going through here. Jordan having come out behind this traffic line, C. Miller as well, and crucially, Burn Victim is in front of all of that traffic, so he does not have to get in front of it, and he can just run away from these guys on these hard tires. This is absolutely crucial for his championship run and this race victory, for God's sakes. And whoa, huge spin for Bartaponi, getting big sideways through the last corner, and that's not going to be good for him. Cupcake going into the pits, not having a speeding penalty. That's a very good thing to do. CTRE Fox and Meebinator still out on the medium tires, holding it out for one more lap. They're going to go onto the hard tires side by side, going with Jordan and Testarossa. Testarossa doing a really good job to defend from the new tire runner of I'm Jordan, and he's going down the inside. Does not have the battery to make the move stick, and that's going to mean Testarossa keeps the position down into the second sector line, even though Jordan has the new tires, and he is frustrated. Mr. Testarossa is doing a really good job to hold on to it. MRK having a 3-second time penalty now as well, after going too many times over the white line, as Testarossa is doing a really good job so far to keep in front of I Am Jordan, and it's not going to hold on for a while, but it's definitely helping out this man right here. Burn Victim already having pulled out a huge gap to Jordan. That's going to be like a 5-second gap. You can see that they were together at the entrance of the pits, but they're no longer together as Echo 1 comes into the pits, and he's going to change his tires. Burn Victim goes up to P3 as Meebinator came into the pits, and he's going to come out well behind these guys, as we're going to have C. Miller in front of Jordan here. in front of Testarossa, so both of them did get in front. But someone who did get in front of both of them is Meebinator. He did not get caught up in the traffic as well. Meebinator is now 3 seconds back, just about. Whoa, what happened to man in the box there? Smart to him, let him go. 3 seconds back. Meebinator is from Burn Victim, so Burn has a really good chance at winning this race right here, having not got caught in the traffic. C. Miller and Jordan still trying to fight back this traffic of Villeneuve, man in the box. Meebinator having came out in front of them, Burn Victim having came out in front of them, and having a great time on these hard tires, having just run away from the P3 and P4 position. I'm sorry, P3 and P4 positions that were provisionally P7 and P8 right now. C. Miller and Jordan having not the greatest of outlaps from the pit lane. Burn Victim having the absolute dream of an outlap, going a little wide over those curbs. That might result in a penalty later on if he does not keep it in the track lines. Knight still holding on those medium tires, so that's a good first stint from him. Still to be out ahead, Burn Victim, Meebinator, and man in the box still very close together. Villeneuve holding off C. Miller for the time being. C. Miller being the only person to go onto the medium tires after a soft run, so he's going on the softest tires of strategies. Most people opting to do the medium hard as more people come into the pits and more people coming out of the pits. Now, is C. Miller going to have a move done on Villeneuve by the end of the straight? If he wants to win this race, he has to. Is he going to do it? Putting the pressure on Villeneuve. Now, Villeneuve is now putting the pressure on man in the box going into the pits. And that's not going to be the move that C. Miller would have wanted. He would have wanted to move up a position on track as well as on the timing board. There you go. That's going to be a wide moment for Villeneuve, and this is going to open the door for C. Miller. He's going to go around the outside. Villeneuve using all of his battery that he can to hold that inside line, and he goes around the outside, and C. Miller gets a great move done on Villeneuve, trying to defend that inside lane, and he did not get that move done. Jordan trying to do the same, but he does not have the track opportunity to do so. Now that releases C. Miller on the fresh medium tires to chase after Meebinator. 1 seconds up the road, just about reachable in a couple of laps time, especially on the new tires, and the tire advantage that you get from being on the medium tires. Is Jordan gonna have the same amount of overspeed into turn 1 and then turn 3 that he's going to get able to do a mirror move of what happened ahead of him? Is that going to happen? Jordan turning on the ERS, and C. Miller having already pulled away a second and a bit. Villeneuve does not have the DRS, but he does get passed by Villeneuve. Further down the field, we're going to have Jay Lowry coming in front of Damie. Knight going into the pits, and somebody else having served their pit stop. It looks like Damie now behind Jay Lowry, not what he would have wanted after a 10-second penalty and leading this race, and having a little bit of a spin. This is going to be Burn Victim's race to win. He's got 16 laps on these medium tires. Can he hold on? He has a 3.5-second buffer to the car behind, and we have one car ahead of him who is yet to pit. TTRE Fox still holding out on these medium tires, so that's going to be a very, very good first stint from him. I think he's going to go onto the softs. Would it make sense not to at this rate? If he's out for this long of a stint, TTRE Fox losing a lot of time on these tires, by the way. Burn Victim is gaining about a second per lap. So he's not setting the world alight on those mediums, but he is holding out for that faster tire later on. Meebinator having gotten caught up by C. Miller. That entire time, C. Miller was cooking his tires and getting ready for a pounce on Meebinator on the softer tires. Is he going to have that move stuck in by the next corner? Let's watch as Burn Victim is way too far up the road to even realize what's going on. C. Miller does not have the overspeed, and I think he's going to start charging his battery for a bigger and better move. You can actually look up and see the clouds starting to form with about 20 minutes left of the race. So this is going to be an interesting one for sure for these guys if they do get some rain coming at the end of the race, as we still have the battle going on for effective P2 and effective P6. Looks like on track. Daimi would have a 10-second penalty, and that would be a very different scenario if he didn't have a 10-second time penalty. Burn victim still 3.5 seconds, actually gained 2/10 to Meebinator that lap, and he's going to be gaining 2 or 3 tenths every lap if this continues at the rate it is. C Miller is now going to have a chance to get in front of Meebinator, and he does get in front of Meebinator. Really nice and smooth job around the outside with DRS open. Meebinator didn't have too much of a reply for that, and now Meebinator's going to try to hold on to C Miller as he's going to try to chase down Burn Victim. You can see him up the road, and now C Miller is going to put in one great stint. 3 seconds to catch up in 12 to 14 laps. Is C Miller going to have enough time? Is he going to have enough tire life? Is he going to have enough laps to do it? Meebinator going to try to hold on here as much as he can to these medium tires, even though they're so much quicker every lap. He's gaining about 2 tenths, 3 tenths per corner at times. It's pretty nuts. Has Fox gone into the pit already? No, he has not. He is probably going to come into the pits in a couple of laps, but he's nuts to still stay out on these tires. He is on 22-lap-old medium tires. Yeah, I don't know how he's still out on track, to be honest. My apologies, guys. He's probably gonna hold out for the rain. I don't think there's gonna be rain. just with how you guys were talking to me, I don't think there's gonna be rain. Let's see. And if there was rain, he probably wouldn't be in the best place to capitalize. That would probably be C Miller, because yeah, a 75 on lap 24. Yeah, I mean, he's almost there, and he's losing about that much time. He's losing about a second per lap. 2.5 seconds now. C Miller to Burn Victim, and it's just about 12 laps from the end, 11 and a bit laps to the end of the race. Oh, something happened back here. Damie and Knight are going side by side. Damie holding the outside line. Knight trying to hold the inside line, trying to get past Jay Lowry, as Knight is on the soft tires, and Knight wants to get this move done, and TTRE Fox still holding out all that he can. He's still not coming into the pits, which is pretty surprising considering that he is on 23-lap-old mediums. So that's going to be an interesting one. Knight going around the outside of Jay Lowry, and he makes that move look easy with DRS. Now, back to the fight. We were looking at C Miller, now 2 seconds from Burn Victim. It is only a matter of time for them to catch up. It looks to be in the next 5 laps. They're going to be in before biblical rain on lap 30, for real. C Miller is 2 seconds back from Burn Victim. He has gained a second in about two to 3 laps, and that means he's gonna gain another 2 seconds in the next 3 to 6 laps, and I'm ready for it. C Miller is doing a lot of work on that steering wheel to catch back up. Burn Victim has a lot of ERS he can still deploy comparatively to Meebinator. He also has a lot of ERS that he just wants to stay with the new tires, better tires of C Miller for the time being. And biblical rain might come soon, but TTRE Fox does not wait for it. He comes into the pits on lap 24. His tires were going into puncture territory, and now he goes onto the soft tires, and he's going to come out. It looks to be behind this little pack of 3 cars, Jay Lowry, Damie, and Knight. Let's see where he comes out compared to these cars. They are going to be ahead. How much ahead? There they are going past on the right-hand side. He's going to come and join them on the left-hand side, and he gets out in the middle of them, and he's actually going to get out behind Damie now, and that is going to be not where he wanted, but that is where he landed. Jay Lowry goes ahead of Knight into that first corner, or sorry, fourth corner after a little bit of confusion, I would say, with those with the car coming out of the pits. 1.3 seconds the gap now to C. Miller. The time is coming down closer and closer. There might have been a mistake from Burn Victim. There might have not been, but C. Miller is on a rampage. C. Miller is within DRS. He does not get it this time around, but he will get it next time around. And as you can see, the rain might come. It is very dark on track, and you could see upwards there isn't much of a blue sky to look at. Meebinator did not hold on to these top two, but C. Miller did hold on to that DRS range. C. Miller now has a really good opportunity to win this race from the P3 position that he started in. C. Miller holding a lot of great tires here. 11 lap mediums compared to 11 lap hards. They're still within their working window, and they still got a lot of time in this race to figure out who's going to be ahead. And there might even be rain to figure that out. So there's going to be a lot of action still in these last 10 laps. Do not miss it. I am promising you this is going to be one you want to watch. C. Miller, 4/10 behind Burn Victim after 3 laps of chasing it down a 30-second gap. He is definitely the faster driver at this rate. Burn Victim is going to have a hard time defending against C. Miller with a full battery. Is C. Miller going to turn on his battery and his DRS button? He turns on the DRS button. Burn Victim goes to the inside, C. Miller goes to the outside, and that's the move done for C. Miller on the straight. Did not have any real competition or defense from Burn Victim, as there is no real need for it. Soon in the race might get titled out. 40% about 40% ERS for C. Miller. Burn Victim's about a 90% ERS, so there is a big difference between them both there. C. Miller is now going to hold on to as much of that pace that he can and just use the pace in about 2 laps right before that rain comes. These medium tires are going to start dying off in the next 5 to 6 laps. So if the rain comes before then and he does go into the pits, and everybody goes into the pits for inter tires, he would have the lead if everything goes to plan, as things in Formula 1 do. Oh, take a breather, guys. Take some water. Get some refreshing drink. Is Burn Victim gonna have the run back into the first turn for C. Miller? As we can see, some sun coming through the clouds. C. Miller having a little bit of a slide through that corner. That's going to make Burn Victim burn a little bit of his ERS. Is he going to have the run into turn 4 that he needed? He does not get the run that he wants to overtake, but he is very much on the ERS advantage here. C. Miller having about 30%, Burn Victim having about 80% battery. So they're going to be doing this deed for the next 8 laps on track. Meebinator has been brought back into this, by the way. I didn't even realize how close he was, but he is within the TRS of Burn Victim and C. Miller. So now it is a 3-way fight for this lead of this race. Any one of these 3 drivers can take it at the end. And who will it be? I don't know yet. And I'm very excited to see any of these 3 guys can technically get it. Even Jordan has a chance to get it if he can catch back up into 3 seconds. Maybe something happens between the top 3. There's a little bit of a crash, a little bit of a craziness going on. That could help it out. As TTRE Fox, that's the fastest lap of the race. A 9.5, I think it was, or 9.95, something like that. These guys are pushing each other to the max. And I just love to see it. These guys are very close to each other for the lead of the race. We also have another little pack going on between P5 and P8. Those 4 guys are very close as well. Lethal Pete and man in the box also changing positions. I'm not focusing on them because, wow, what a race we've gotten from C. Miller, Burn Victim, and Meebinator. These guys are fighting it out, trying to keep with each other and trying to be there for the end of the race. Burn Victim is going to go down the inside and make a nice move stick on the inside of C. Miller. C. Miller trying to hold it around the outside, holds it very nicely, but does not get the run he needed out of the corner after going tight into the first quarter line, and that's going to give C. Miller the P3 actually after Meebinator also takes P2 from his hands. Burn Victim now the lead car in the train and the lead of the race. Meebinator in P2, C. Miller in P3. Maybe his tires are going off, maybe his ERS is a little low, maybe anything could have happened, and they're going to be battling for the next 6 laps before we get an answer, and they still have another probably 10 miles of circuit to go, so they are not in a rush to be in first or to be in third. Any of these guys are secured a podium as long as they don't bin it. That is the important part. As you can see here, Meebinator is going to have on the DRS button, and he has on the ERS button. He's going side by side with Burn Victim. C. Miller is going around the outside of Burn Victim as well, and he's trying to take the position as he did last time around. And there is a little bit of contact there between C. Miller and Burn Victim, and C. Miller takes the position from Burn Victim, and it looks like Burn has the DRS. C. Miller has the DRS, and he does not make the move stick on Meebinator. Try to make a little bit of a fake there, but C. Miller holds P2 for the time being. Meebinator is now in P1, Burn Victim in P3, and as I said, any of these guys could take the win of this race. Any of these guys could take P2. It all depends on what they do on the final lap, and it is going to be the final lap in about 4 laps time after they finish this one. So do not go anywhere. Tier 3 might be starting in about 15 minutes, and I need to be there, but I ain't going there because I need to see this first. C. Miller holding on to the DRS of Meebinator. Burn Victim holding on to the back end of C. Miller. You can see him in the little wing mirrors. And you can see there, nobody has made a position. Nobody has made a move for position in the top 3. We will wait for you. Thank you. I don't think we'll need to wait too long, but we should be good this time around. Is C. Miller going to have the position on the lead of the race? Meebinator does not defend, but neither does C. Miller. C. Miller does not attack. They're just saving battery because they know they still got two laps to go. 10% for Meebinator, so he's running low on battery. Burn Victim is running almost full on his battery, so he's just seeing the cars ahead recharge their battery, and he's done the same thing a couple laps ago already, so he's just saving his battery and holding off for the moment that he knows is going to come. He's about 60% battery, about 40% battery for Meebinator, and they will be using all of it these next couple of runs down into turn 1 to keep track position. And it looks like C. Miller here already turning on his battery. A little bit of battery burn from Burn Victim. Is C. Miller going to have the position gain on this time around? Yes, he does. He's going to go down the inside with the DRS on. That's going to be an easy move for C. Miller. That's going to give him the lead of the race provisionally for the time being. This is going to be 3 more laps of this intense battling for who has track position, who is in front for the final lap of the race. 3 laps to go after they cross the line. Burn is burning. I'm just waiting for it. 3 laps to go. We know who our championship contenders are. Let's go ahead and show it up one more time. There you go. Burn Victim in P4 of the championship right now. As we can see, all the way down in P17, Miller, C. Miller, is in P16 with 2 points on his name, and he will be trying to get back at him. And further up, let me go ahead and unpause this. Damie sets the fastest lap of the race again with a 9.3, and Meebinator is nowhere in the conversation yet. if he can get this win, he will be there and further up the field, as we had no moves for the top three. Meebinator still holding the... Oh, what happened to C Miller there? C Miller just lost P2. He had a huge snap while I was trying to take off the standings, and Burn Victim is now in the P2. And that pulled Jordan a little bit closer, it looked like. He's still at 3 seconds gap, but very important that Burn Victim is now in P2. Meebinator in P3. Or sorry, Meebinator holding the lead. C Miller in P3. Burn, let Burn cook. Backfire to give him DRS. Maybe a little bit. But Bartaponi did not give him DRS. Sadly. Not as many pens as I thought. I agree. As we get another pen. As I said that. Cobb K getting another 3-second time penalty. Meebinator is going to have 2 more times to come down this main straight. C Miller on the back of the MoneyGram Haas, and he's trying to get the move done as quickly as possible. He's using his DRS. He turned on his DRS, and they're going to be nearly 3 wide for the lead of the race. Are they going to be 3 wide? No, but C Miller goes down the inside of Meebinator, and he's going to hold out that outside line as much as he can. He goes over the curb and almost gets the move done by Burn Victim, but he's getting held back at him. C Miller now going down the inside. They're going 3 wide for the lead of the race, and C Miller comes out on top. Meebinator just behind, trying to get passed by Burn Victim. Burn Victim did not get the run out of the corner that he needed, and that gives Meebinator the P2 spot. And there's 1 lap to go after they cross the finish line, so this is their final decided order. C Miller leading the race one more time after a little bit of a costly mistake at the start of the lap before. Meebinator in P2, Burn Victim in P3, and Jordan just trying to catch up to these guys. He's unable to. Villeneuve getting another 3-second time penalty, or adding on to the 3-second time penalties of this race. And we have the final run into turn 1. Meebinator turns on his ERS, burns a lot, and C Miller is burning all of his ERS, trying to hold the defensive line. He goes around the outside, and Meebinator takes the lead on the final lap. C Miller in P2. He's going to need a good run out of this corner to get a good run with the DRS. He turns his battery off, so he's not using any. Meebinator's not using any. Burn Victim's not using any, and they are still how they are in to the first corner, and Meebinator's still leading this race from C Miller on the last lap. They will be saving up the battery a little bit by a little bit in this final sector, in the second and final sector, so they can have the run into turn 1 and have a drag race. Burn Victim trying to make a move on C Miller, trying to put some pressure on. This is going to be very close, says Bouncy, and I agree. This is going to be tight between these guys. 3 people fighting for the win, and they all have battery, and they're all going to have DRS other than Meebinator. Who is going to take this win? Who is going to be the victor of this race? C Miller is going to have the DRS, but he gets a squabble out of the last corner, and that's going to give Meebinator a really good run out of the final corner. DRS is turned on, but it doesn't matter, because Meebinator takes the win of the race from C Miller and Burn Victim, who take P2 and 3. Jordan takes P4. TTRE Fox is going to have P5, and the fastest lap of the race, Jay Lowry, just a bit behind, is going to have a 3-second time penalty, so he's going to lose on track to Man in the Box, but he finishes P6. He's going to go down to P7. Man in the Box is going to go up to P6. Knight is going to come across the line, and he's going to have a penalty as well, but Cobb K passes him right before the line, and Villeneuve and Mr. Lethal Pete without penalties come past both of them. Cobb K gets that line. Very, very perfect. 5/100ths of a second in front of Knight. What a drag race to the line. I want to see that screenshot afterwards. But Villeneuve and Mr. Lethal Pete take P8 and P9, Cobb K and P10, Knight and P11, and MRK our last points paying position. What a race. What a race, everybody. Oh, man. Y'all already know music's coming on. It's time for the stream to end, and what a race we've had for sure. Mr. Lethal Pete getting the the driver of the day. It's gonna be one it's going to be one to watch out for. This race has been awesome. But as you can see here, the final standings come with Meebinator on top. He is back in the championship fight. He's leading the championship after this. C. Miller in P2, Burn Victim in P3, Jordan in P4, Fox in P5, Man in the Box P6, J. Lowry P7, Mr. Lethal P8, Villeneuve in P9, Cobb, K in P10, Knight in P11, and MRK in P10. Damie holding our fastest lap of the race. That was taken away from most people, actually. I think someone else had tried to take it, but what a lap. T. Terry Fox wins. There you go. What a lap from Davey. Fastest lap of the race. Either way, that's going to be the end of Tier 4. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate y'all. MRL appreciates y'all. Go watch Tier 3 because that's already going to start. Thank you guys so much for watching again, and I hope to see y'all next week for more action on track. Ciao.